Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to do this speckled finish in the cockpit of a fiberglass aircraft to camouflage all the fiberglass layups and bits and pieces, just using leftover bits of spray paint. I know you can actually buy speckled spray paint, but it's not always readily available, and this is a good way of getting rid of some ends of paint in a can. So this is the glider fuzz that I'm going to be doing. A bit of a history. This is a third scale ASH 26 a kit that I used to produce years ago. This is my personal plane. It's quite a few years old and it's flown quite a bit, and I've converted it to self-launching and used it as my self-launch test bed for the self-launch units that I also produce. So now I've finally going to finish off the fuse properly. So I've actually done the external colour. I've painted that white. I did that yesterday, and now as you can see, I've masked it off, and I'm going to put the speckled finish inside the self-launch bay, which you can see looks quite scrappy, and in the cockpit, which has already had some sort of speckled finish put in there a few years ago. So what I've done is I've basically masked everything off outside and covered up the paint. I've used blue tacky tape, as I said, I've painted it just yesterday with 2-pack paint, but here in Australia the weather's been quite hot, 45 degrees, so it's well cured, well enough to put the blue tape on there. And then I've got in there with the Dremel, and as you can see I've done a bit of grinding around just to grind off all the bits and pieces, bits of fiberglass and excess resin, just roughly, and then I'll do the speckled finish, and that'll camouflage all that. So now I'm going to lay in the grey first layer. So I've got two other colours now. I've got the dust grey sprayed on there. You can see I've been having a bit of a practice. So I've got a darker grey and a white, and you've just got to hold the can in a particular way and just get it to spatter. So you can see that that's sort of just twisting the nozzle back. Just have a bit of a play with that. You can see that you can get sort of a consistent feel with that. Some cans are better than the other. This one's a bit harder to get it happening, but you can see that it gives that speckled finish. Now we're going to give it a go in the glider. So I usually do the grey first. Have a bit of a practice on the paper. Okay, you can see it's happening. I think it's starting to spray. Just hold it away a bit and get it happening again, and just go back into there. That's why you have the aircraft masked off really well. Get the back here while it's going. See, it's giving it quite a good effect. If you make a mistake and it does actually just spray in there, you can actually just quickly grab the dust grey and just give it a quick spray over the whole lot, or over the section you want to redo, and just have another go straight away, because it doesn't matter, it all dries pretty quick. Have a go with the white. That's really good. That's what you want. Yeah, that's about it. You can see it gives the effect. Right, you can see now that we've finished. It took a little bit longer than expected because the white can wouldn't do the right thing, but eventually we got there. So the bottom line is if you get too much of one colour in there, you just put in the other colour to sort of counteract it. So if you get too much white in there, put a bit of dark grey in there. If you make a mistake, you can spray the light grey quickly over it, hit it again with the two colours, and just experiment a bit. You can experiment with different colours. The beauty of this being enamel paint and the fuselage is painted with 2K is that if the masking doesn't work and you do get a little bit of the enamel on your outer colour, you can actually just wipe it off with thinners. Okay, so yeah, here it is. Right, so now I've taken the masking all off, and you can see it's certainly given the desired finish. It makes it look a lot better, a lot more professional, a lot nicer. And over here I've got the doors. I've done the doors just on a bit of board here. So now I'll just let it all dry, and then I'll be able to reassemble the model. I hope this has helped with how to put some speckle on your plane.